Friends, hello, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. So today we are talking about the state of the market, talking about cards you should buy, cards you should sell, cards you should just be mindful of the direction of the price that they're going to be going. Maybe you're looking to flip some players. Maybe you're just looking like, hey, should I hold on to this player a little bit? Should I get rid of him? We try to cover it all in these episodes. We are post-Christmas. Always a lot of talk about the potential of a Christmas crash and all of this every single year, trying to navigate that the best we can. This year, starting up with what's important before we jump into the auction house. This is very important. This is going to be the story of every single new season we have and market video, and that is what's in the XP reward path. Right now, you've seen the XP season 2 82 plus overall chance pack. Everybody gets an 82. It's sellable. There is random 82 overall, again sellable. You have, what else is in here? Probably another one there. I know there's some higher overalls. Nonetheless, the reason this is important because, first season we've seen 76s, we had 77, 78s. Everybody's getting those. They're releasing them. Now, everybody that plays the game slowly but surely keeps getting more 82 pluses, more 82 pluses. The 80, 85 overall chance pack. When you see stuff like that in a rewards path that everybody can get without buying packs, it drives the prices of those particular items down more and more and more. Which is why we're seeing, even in this situation, we're seeing some of the 81s, the 82s, going for substantially less than what it was a couple months ago for a multitude of reasons. The other thing to always keep in mind, what I always try to remind people of when it comes to buying and holding cards, there is very few cards you can buy and hold. Your team of the seasons, your fantasy hockeys, as far as holding for months on ends. For the most part, they're going to continue to depreciate because EA's always releasing higher overalls. The 85 McDavid's fantastic, but now there's an 86, or now there's an 87, now there's an 88, now there's an 89, right? Anyway, 82s. There was a point in time where just 80s are going for 10, 11, 12K. Now we're seeing 82s down below 9K right now. And the thing that's difficult about this with the 82s is they still are tradable, and that's what's going to be important here. I would expect over time they still do depreciate a little bit. Something I would keep in mind, and this is big risk, big gamble, is we are end of December. We're talking team of the season soon. Team of the season comes out and they say, hey, trade in 50 of these or 50 of these, and you go ahead and get the collectibles. The thing is, we can't predict exactly what it is. I would assume 82s would be one of the options. 81s would be one of the options. 83s would be one of the options, where you could say it'd be a gamble, because we don't know for sure, but a gamble where you can say, hey, if you can pick up some cheap 82s, maybe hold them around for a little bit, maybe they go for more, because if you have to trade in a bunch of players for one, and just this year it's been a little bit different, but if you have to trade in a bunch of players for one, you're going to see the prices go up. But looking at this, I love the 82s as far as cards, as far as flipping the market's concerned, or flipping's concerned, because again, XP reward path, you want stuff that's liquid being, there's a lot of stuff being released, a lot of people can buy them, and people still don't always buy packs, but they always play the game if they're on hot, earn XP, and they can sell those players. And the thing is, a lot of people, and I'm guilty of it myself, I'll get a player sometimes and be like, I don't feel like looking up how much this costs, and be like, oh well, 6K sounds nice. And next thing you know, it's like you're listing an 82 for 6K that you should be selling again for, in this case, what, about 81, about 80, or about 8, I should say, not 81, yeah, about 8K. Yeah, prime example, and one thing to remember, 5% tax, so on 10K you'd lose 500. In that particular situation, you would have made 200 coins or 100 coins. But again, 8K for a player, that's where it's at. You want a 59 minute marker card and make some coin. I'd like the 82s right now, just again, because they're in the XP reward path. Go out, spam it a little bit. You'll get cards coming for 55. You'll get cards coming for 6K. You'll get cards coming for 65. Because again, some people just don't feel like looking for them. And the good thing is, you're at this point in time in the year where it's a little bit easier because less people are, spamming a 59 minute mark making coins. It's a good opportunity. Again, it's 8:30 in the morning right now on, well, it's a Saturday. It's 8:30 in the morning right now, so there's not as much being released. But there's one right there. I think it was too slow. We was talking. Yeah, we beat that. But, quick 2K right there. Quick 2K. Prime example. Continuing on. Sorry, we get distracted. I like to give examples, like to try to do our best to explain where we think cards are going, whilst also, trying to provide some tips on how to make coins along the way. Can be time consuming. The 85s, I believe the 85s, last night we was buying them at 18k. Are they cheaper than that? No, 18k is about where they was. I wanted to get the McDavid set, so I started to buy some 85s just to have them, thinking there's a chance they might go stay right where they are, but you never know if they just says, all right, we'll forget about these 85s. Honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the logic was. We just bought them. I think I wanted to buy them just to say, like, all right, let's see where we're at right now with the stuff. But anyway, same story. 85 overalls, 18k, 19k coming out. The second you see any of these guys in the past, the thing is 85s are 20k. I think that's the thing. I'm looking at thinking in past years thinking 18k is cheap. If I'm investing in something, looking just to hold on to them, I like 15k for the 85s. I think if I was going to invest and say, hey, you know what, there could be a potential opportunity this season or whatever, trading players, I think I like the 85s at like 15k. Again, I'm just spitballing. This is complete hypotheticals. Can't say it's going to happen, but I like that. To me, that seems like a good risk-reward range. Anyway, let's talk about, cards that are out now. Frozen Forces. This is the same story every single event. When the event is live, specifically in the first week, the cards go for the most. When the event is over, people start to fire sell those cards because they no longer are using them for the objectives. When the event's out, I'll give you a prime example. Right now, we are on the Frozen Forces. Now, people can still do the Frozen Forces because there's 1 week left. The cheapest Frozen Forces up is 1, 2, 3. Let's try 20k. We're under 20k. There's one. I just seen one for 16. And we'll go to what the current event is, which is Gallery of Grades. And there is literally nothing up for under 20k. This is the same thing every single time because people need the Gallery of Grades players right now, nothing under 25k, in order to complete the objectives. So something to keep in mind is, first of all, you pull and be very, very careful. Don't sell it too quickly. But good opportunity to look on the market, maybe even 59-minute mark that. Try to find some that are, people, again, are unaware. Like, oh, it's just another 83. Most of them are going for, X or Y. But just something to keep in mind when it's me, if you're going to buy these cards, I think it's important to try to, be a weekend warrior, or don't hold on to them for any longer than you use them. If you're going to buy them, because see, this is something I'm very guilty of doing. I like to buy the event player. I like to work towards the event. And then I'll be like, all right, let's leave it on the team. 3 days later, I'll be like, I'll sell it in a little bit. Forget to sell it. A week passes, 2 week passes. All of a sudden, you spend 25k on 3 players. 75k. Now they're selling for 15. You just lost 30,000 coins. So one thing I think is very important when you do these events, try and buy and sell them the same day, or at least within 24 hours. Ideally it's the same day. Come back the next day, buy them back. Usually, usually the price is going to go down a little bit, unless you got a steal. So that's something to keep in mind there. And again, we will talk about the sets. Ever is so important as the game progresses. It's going to cause some of these lowers. The reason 77, 78s, they don't go for what they once did is because we look at the collectibles to build sets. You have 381. I think this is all collectibles purely, I think here. And yeah, it's all collectibles purely. It's just in the collectible sets. My mistake. We'll go back one. You're looking at, an 80. This is probably going to take collectibles. I have not. Okay, 82s. 3 82s for an 84 overall. So this is why you're seeing, again, 82s holding a little bit of value. But again, the further we get in the year, now there's no 80s. There's no 81s, which can cause the price of those puppies to go down. But they are still out here as far as like the X Factor tokens, still 72 over 72, 40, 72 pluses. But again, the thing is with this stuff is there's a floor. You have a floor where you can only list cards for so cheap. Specifically when you get up to the 78s, the 76, the 76s, the 77, 78s. I believe. I want to make sure we get this right here. I want to make sure we get the buy now cheap price. I want to say that's my collection. That's my collection. That is not what we was looking for. Let's go back a little bit. Search auction house. We have a lot of unsellable stuff. I've been doing a lot less market working and a lot more and buying players and just a lot more playing the game and getting the free stuff. I've been more than content this year with the free stuff compared to years past where, it is, I don't like having the stuff untradeable on my team. 76s, we are looking at about probably 3K. No, 3.5K. We're at 3K. There it is. It's not updating, but I was gonna say I thought it was around that range. Yeah, and again, you're looking. What's crazy is you're seeing all these 80 pluses flooding the market, and the silvers are actually more expensive because. Well, not more expensive, 2K, because you're seeing all these the XP events and everything else where it's releasing all these players. Nonetheless, we're sitting around 2K still. That's going to kind of balance out the token price right there, where it's still 40K for a collectible, and that's typical 40 50K range there. Something to keep in mind though is, what is that, 3 X Factor token sets, 40 50K. What does that come to? 13K total. Yeah. And you look at, again, 2 X Factor tokens or 40,000 coins, 2 X Factor token 50 coins, 2 X Factor token 55, 2 X Factors or 60K, and we're still sitting around that 30K a token kind of range, which means they are still cheaper, but not a lot. But we're not going to see it dip too substantially compared to their coin price. Always a good thing kind of compare it to is where the token to coin price ratio is right now. We're still seeing 30K a token for players like Nikita Kucherov and company. That'll help hold the value of those cards up. But anyway, probably boring everybody with these lower price players. Let's talk fantasy hockey. We're still seeing 1.1 million, and we're still gonna see some of these guys. We're entering January. We're entering January, which means guys that are taking off, guys that are these 88 pluses, the Garlands, the Zuckers. I mean, they're gonna stay very expensive. But it's getting to that point where you're seeing, let's say, the 81s, the 76s, the John Carlsons of the world. Like, yeah, they're people are still 800K. They're still on 1.3. I'm very leery of that. Very, very leery. There's about a month. Typically around February, you see some of the fantasy hockey cards depreciate a little bit. But the difference is, of course, guys that are cleaning up house, coming in 95, 96. It takes a long time for this game to get to 99 overalls. And as long as there's a big gap between the 99s and the fantasy hockey cards, they will hold value. That is the most important thing. We always put like a month on it, January, February. But if we're only at 89 overalls, which we're at, we're at 89, 90 overalls entering January. And if we're in March and we're at 93s, then hey, team of the season's coming around. Of course, you want to consider selling them, start thinking about it. But there's still a big gap. There's still guys not team of the season contenders. They could hold some value, but I definitely like, for that reason, team of the season comes out, team of the year comes out. You never know when people are like, oh, going. I want to save some coins, make some coins for these guys. So that's why I'm definitely leery, because, it's possible guys get hot in April or March. It's also possible they don't, and the season ends and they're an 85 overall and you paid 1 million coins for them. So I'm very leery of guys like that. I like to have the hot players. I like to have the guys that are, performing at least on pace, on average, to get to their 99 overall when it comes to the fantasy hockey players. What else do we have right now? I mean, again, just in general, higher ticket priced items, they will slowly depreciate, as we were saying. Like right now, you're gonna, the Joe Sagic's nasty, probably the best card, one of the best cards in the game, 600K. Over time, you'll see that go down. While he's in packs, it might balance out. Price would be relatively stable. And then when he's out of packs, it might go up a little bit. Then you'll see the slow trickle back down again. Thing is, all these are kind of buildable, which, again, can hurt the price in the long run, makes them a little bit cheaper. But, as always, I hope you all found this video helpful. Sometimes I feel like I go all over the place, it can be confusing. So I hope everything kind of made a little sense. As always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.